Rene from the iPhone blog. We are at Macworld 2010, and we are with David from QuickOffice. How's it going, David?
Great. Nice to meet you.
So tell us a little bit about QuickOffice. Is anyone not familiar with it? What does it do?
QuickOffice is a full-fledged Microsoft document viewer and editor for mobile devices. We've been around about 10-12 years. We built software for all kinds of mobile phones, iPhones, Symbian phones, and Android phones, things like that. But if you want to be able to get at and edit, view, and make changes to documents when you're away from home, away from your laptop, away from your desktop, QuickOffice has software that lets you do that. Make full changes to it, save it back, and email it on to your boss, or push it back to the corporate network, things like that.
If you made a mistake on that Excel sheet and you really want to fix it now,
absolutely. Well, worse than that, you're sitting in the pub and you're having your beer after work, and your boss calls you up and says, "I need the sales numbers for Q2 updated." What do? Well, you whip out your phone, you make some changes, you send it to him, and he thinks you're working after hours.
You're George Costanza, right at that moment.
Absolutely, you're doing great.
All right, so you guys just rolled out a new update. I know I downloaded it, but I didn't have a chance to play with it too much yet. Can you give me the overview?
Absolutely. So the product we had before this allows you to take and view and edit those files as long as you had preloaded them on the device, or you had an email attached or something like that. However, what's happening more and more is people are actually accessing content in the cloud.
Yes.
So it's more of an anytime, anywhere, and the anywhere could be, I don't know where my file is. It's not. I forgot to download it before I left home.
Yeah.
And so we've been partnering with, obviously, MobileMe and Apple for a while with our previous product, but we've extended it now to work with Google Docs, to DropBox, and Box.net. And we have a new service called QuickOffice Connect. And the Connect service now comes built in the application that allows you now to access your content no matter where it's stored. And the services we provide today, again, are just those four, but we're rolling out more services over the months. We'll be adding much more storage providers to that as well. So
it's more about, instead of you being at the pub and realizing you forgot the document at home and having to leave anyway, now you just hook up to MobileMe or to DropBox, Box.net, and you've got it.
Exactly.
So it saved your life yet again.
Absolutely.
All right, do you mind showing it to us quickly?
Oh, I'd love to, yeah, absolutely. So turn the application on here. So this is the main screen. The main screen basically has, when you come to it, it lists out all the storage locations that you have configured. To configure one, if you don't have it, you just hit the edit button real easily. You say I want to add an account, and it hits the server and says what services are available. I'll cancel it for now. These are the services we currently have available. Notice how it's going to the server though, it's trying to find out. That means this list is going to grow, and we're going to eventually categorize this list into a bunch of other services, not just access-based services.
Okay.
So once you have your services set up, you now have access to go ahead and browse those files or open those files and make edits to those files. Our 3G connectivity is a little bit bad here in the show, so I won't go ahead and do that, but I'll go ahead and open up a local file, for example. The user experience is identical. So I could be literally looking at my Google Docs files right here now. Once I'm looking at my files, I can do anything I want with it. I can say, well, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and move these files somewhere, or I want to download them to my device. Or maybe I want to go ahead and email them. I say, I want to email these files. I hit email, and it'll go ahead and start an email for you. Interestingly enough, if the files are not on the device, let's say I'm actually accessing Google Docs and I want to email those files, I can pick them just like I did, say send. They never have to come to the device. What happens is our service goes out and gets them for you from Google Docs and sends them on their way, and so you save all the bandwidth and time downloading and sends them on the way. And of course, like our previous product did, it is a full-fledged word processor. If I were to place a cursor in here, I can begin editing, and change some text. If I want to make this centered, for example, I can say, hey, center this line. If I want to change some formatting, maybe I want to highlight this word, in some blue color, whatever. So it's a full-fledged word processing application. Trash that for now. If I have a spreadsheet application, for example, there's a full-fledged spreadsheet application. Really easy to use. If I hold my finger, I can resize columns. It does full calculation. So it has, if I want to sell, you can see there's a formula here. If I were to actually go ahead and pick the formulas, right button here, we support 125 different Excel functions, and so it is a full recalculation engine as well. So if I change values, it'll recalculate the spreadsheet. And of course, you can do all the same manipulation with this. You can email people, and, you can change formatting. It's everything you might want to do on a mobile device.
In the palm of your hand.
Absolutely.
And since you've done cross-platform before, how's the iPhone version of this now, in your opinion? It's been a while since you've been out. How is it now for a user experience?
Oh, it's excellent. In fact, the code itself is actually based on our Symbian code. So we've been shipping Symbian code for almost a dozen years now. And so the C++ code that we use for Symbian is the exact same code we use for the iPhone. So the iPhone, this application, even though it's only been shipping on the iPhone for a little over a year, it has been in hundreds of millions of users. We actually ship, I think right now we're on over 200 million devices. We ship primarily to the OEMs. And so we're on a huge number of Android devices coming out. We're shipping HTC, Motorola, the Google Nexus One run, of course the iPhone.
People thought it was going to be a challenge on the iPhone because the interface was so different than the previous, like in the Trios and SMBN.
I think the user interface and experience is actually better on the iPhone.
I agree.
Because of touch bar, yeah. So I think it's a great user experience. It's very, very usable.
And speaking of which, now that Apple has shown their big version off, did you cut out the cardboard and start running around with it? Are you thinking about the interface?
Oh, we're very excited about it. Yeah, we've been looking at the SDK for some time now. And of course, we want to make sure our application has a really great user experience, just like it does on the iPhone. And so, sure, this application will run on the iPad, but we want to make sure our application really takes advantage of the real estate and all the user experience there. And so, you're going to see some stuff coming out from that that really takes advantage of that as well.
This will be the version of it when you're lounging around on the couch and your boss calls.
Absolutely.
Sit there and enjoy your beer at home.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, great. This is Rene. This is the iPhone blog, Macworld 2010.